everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We are back. We're doing a best of 3 Zendikar Rising draft. Got a cool mythic here, Angel of Destiny. Probably works best in a life gain deck, because then you can win the game or make your opponent lose the game. If you have at least 15 more life than your starting life total, each player Angel attack this turn loses. Okay, cool. So if you have 35 life and then attack your opponent at the beginning of that end step, your opponent loses. Cool. Other notable picks here, Kargan War Leader. Got the Warrior Lord, Core Celebrant. Would like to wield that with Angel of Destiny. Deadly Alliance, good removal. And that's about it. Let's see if we can build an Angel of Destiny deck here. Well, what is the best card here? I mean, it's got to be Royal Eruption, but in white, we just have Mesa Links, not worth taking here. Probably just take the Royal Eruption, I guess. Into the Royal is a good pick, too. I wonder if it's better because you can, I don't know, save your Angel of Destiny. Like, dealing damage to your opponent isn't going to work so well when you're trying to gain life, but this is also a kill spell, so alright, whatever. We'll take Royal Eruption. I think GOP's a great card too. Yeah, and into the Royal. Roiling Regrowth. Playable Fixer. Expedition Diviner, good, but alright. Royal Eruption it is. So now in white we have Kitesail Cleric, Kabira Outrider. I think the best card is probably Falconer. I've got a soft spot for Throne of Makindi for kicker decks, but probably just take a Falconer. Maybe pivot to Wizards. We'll see. But Falconer is quite strong, so we'll see. Okay, well, options. Scion of the Swarm. Pretty awesome with Angel of Destiny. Expedition Diviner goes with the Falconer. And then, of course, there's a Blight Priest in here. Also really good with Angel. In red, we just have an Electromancer. In blue, we have the Diviner, which does go good with the Falconer and the Chilling Trap. But Scion's very good. One of the better Cleric cards to get. Plus, I mean, I want to play Angel of Destiny. It's a cool mythic. It's a really cool mythic. And it is nuts with Scion of the Swarm. Alright, Feed the Swarm makes sense here. Geyser Mage and Into the Royal are good too, but Feed the Swarm if we're able to gain a lot of life. I mean, I guess it kind of offsets the life gaining a little bit, but it also deals with pesky enchantments and creatures. Blood Beckoning would be a good pick too, but we'll take the Feed the Swarm. Could have had a Relic Amulet, huh? Well, we can take a Blood Beckoning now or Expedition Healer. Healer's kind of cool because it gains double life if you hit an opponent with it, and it has lifelink. That is cool, but Blood Beckoning's got to be better, I think. Great value card. All right. Well, we can take a Skydancer to continue to cut black. It's evasive. Otherwise, Resolute Strike and disenchants a sideboard card. Best card in the pack, maybe Spellcraft, but I'll take the Skydancer. Well, Coveted Prize is actually a card I kind of like. Confine, I mean, I don't know, it's playable. We're not giving up much for it. Basically a Drana Silencer. Yeah, it's a fun card to play. It is slow, especially when you don't have a full party plan, but I feel like potentially with Angel of Destiny it could be quite good. All right, here we might just take a field research. There's a chance we have to pivot into Demir, because I'd like to play the Falconer. We have a good amount of evasion. It is going to make the Scion of the Swarm worse, but field research is good. Good card advantage. All right. Take the Diviner. Yeah. Otherwise, we take the Highborn Vamp. It's much, I mean, it's significantly worse than Diviner. All right. Silencer. At this point, we have Wizard and Rogue. Rogue doesn't really work with Silencer. Blood Price is reasonable, but at this point, we've got Field Research and Blood Beckoning, so maybe just take the Anticognition. We'll take the Silencer. It's removable. Anticognition's underwhelming. All right, Chilling Trap, actually. Reasonable pick there. Take a Warrior. And last pick, Sentinel's kind of fascinating. All right, and then this is the pack that's got all the clerics we want. Yeah, I'm going to take Attended Healer. I'm just more excited. Relic Vial is really good, too. Both of these cards are insane. I think Attended Healer potentially higher upside with Angel of Destiny, especially since you can give it lifelink. And then you gain 8. Hit for 2, gain 4. Yeah, so gain 8 life every time you hit with it. Hit your opponent with it. It's pretty nice. Another Feed the Swarm in here, but I mean, granted, like I said, and a lot of white did not wheel, but I feel like when you've got Angel of Destiny, you kind of want to make it work. I want the Relic Vial so badly. Cacophony for a mill plan. Another chance to get a Silencer. There's a Cleric. Geopede. Raptor. Flies. We don't have any spell lands. Guess we take another Silencer. Kill spell. So we can take the Royal Mage in blue, otherwise Adept. No Clerics. Shatter Skull Smashing is good red card. Probably take the Adept. No black card in here. Alright. Demon's Disciple for Clerics. Otherwise, Skitter Sneak and Skulker, some Rogues. Spell land in blue, but I'll take the Disciple. Mara Mystic, so some good wizards in here, but I guess we can take a healer. Like I said, I'm basically just kind of forcing clerics because I've got Angel of Destiny, which is quite good. So Angel Heart, Protector. But Mind Drain actually has synergy with Attended Healer. That's true. All right. Malika Rebirth versus... I actually kind of like the value of spare supplies in decks like this. Currently don't have much life gain, though. Just a Mind Drain and a Healer to turn on our Attended Healer. Well, as well as Angel of Destiny, of course. Might actually take the spare supplies. I think Malika Rebirth is pretty excellent, too. Guess I'll just take the Rebirth spell land. All right, we'll get the spare supplies now, or we could take the Protector. Protector is kind of whatever. We actually don't have a lot of need for clerics outside of Attended Healer value. And I guess Expedition Healer. I mean, I think Protector would be reasonable too, but I find these decks tend to flood out a little bit. I think spare supplies can be valuable. Wow. Getting Relic Vial back is such a gift. goes infinite with Intended Healer. Cut the black card. We don't really want to play. So this deck still needs help, but just the fact that we picked up a Relic Vial and a Intended Healer out of that pack is really good news. Granted, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clerics right now. But I think it looks good. None of these cards matter. I guess Dauntless Unity maybe randomly sometimes good with Attended Healer if you can spit out a lot of tokens. I'll take the black card. So this deck could go for some upgrades, but I think we actually have, yeah, we have Cleric, Warrior, Rogue, and Wizard. So we have full party technically, which is cool for coveted prize. We could technically have full party and search up a Attended Healer and cast it for free, or a Relic Vial. Can't do the Angel of Destiny though. But you can search up Angel of Destiny and still get a 4-drop or less for free, so that's cool. Mesa Links maybe, in case we need it. Sideboard at least. Cleric of Lifesbond. Definitely taking that. 2-card combo with Attended Healer. Also really cool with Angel of Destiny. Wins on its own. Pretty easy pick. So now there's Bloodchief's Thirst versus Deadly Alliance. Probably the Thirst. It's cheaper, usually. Alright, here we can probably take the Blood Priest. I like that you automatically get life gain out of it, which is good. And I mean, they both synergize well in the deck. I think Blood Priest, the fact that it can kill your opponent is relevant. So we'll take it. Immediately has impact with the Attended Healer, which is good. I'm thinking we may want to be an 18-land deck. Like I said, these decks do tend to flood out, which is a problem, but easy Blood Priest here. But we have some value cards. We have the Blood Beckoning. We've got... Maybe I can count Rebirth as a spell. I don't really like doing that, but... Wow. Easy Lifesbond. Shepherd in there too, which would be great. And here he's binding not so much because we've got the Disciple, but not a huge deal either way. All right, we can take the Healer. I think Healer is what we want. Predation, and I mean, at this point I kind of want to, I don't even know if I want to play the Silencers. Maybe I can cut the Sentinel, and that way Silencer is still like a kill spell for the deck. This is our current, only non-class card in the deck. So, Felidar, Sentinel, Blood Price, they're all probably not making the cut. Maybe Blood Price. I like Spare Supplies more, I think, because you don't have to pay the life. We have enough creatures. It doesn't really matter. I'm actually just going to take an uncommon. I'm not playing or sideboarding into. Maybe the pick should have been Skyclave Sentinel for like sideboard. I could see the argument there. Guess we can take a Tactics. Actually don't know if that's going to make the deck either. We do have decent diversity in creature type, which does make it better. All right, take the Stampede here. Actually, kind of a nice addition to the deck. Just take an uncommon. Got the Healer back, which I do think is going to make the cut. So, deck looks good. All the Drana silencers. Okay. So, we want to play 18 lands. And we can include these. So basically just, we have more black. This is double black. We have double black here, double white. So we have double white and double black, but technically more black and more. I mean, we need both colors on turn 2, but. So if we're running 18, maybe we just try and even it out anyway. Okay, 9/9. Then we just have to make 3 cuts. We have 17 creatures. Probably can cut a couple silencers. They're usually kind of whatever anyway. I think Highborn Vampire is kind of whatever too, but it is our only warrior. So I kind of like the idea of potentially getting some value out of Coveted Prize. I could cut one more creature too. I'm okay running 14 creatures. I want to keep the spare supplies. If we're running 18 lands, I want to be able to get some card advantage. Currently Blood Beckoning, spare supplies. I kind of count Mind Drain as card advantage too. So one more cut. What is the weakest card? I mean, it might be the Silencer. It might be the Vampire. Like, the Highborn Vampire is fairly underwhelming. Basically, the only thing it does for me is make my practice tactics better and my Coveted Prize able to potentially have full party. I'm not blown away by that. All right, we'll cut the Vampire. It does bring us to 14 creatures, but hoping with the card advantage we have. Adept being a cantrip too is nice. And of course, Relic Vial. Okay, what's our removal looking like? We have Thirst, Feed the Swarm, Disciple, Silencer. All right, it's reasonable. It's a cool deck. We get to try out Angel of Destiny, so all right, we'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1. All right, round 1 we'll keep. That's a good rip. That's cool. I see. Got some options here. The best use of mana is Blood Beckoning, but next turn I'm playing Scion of the Swarm. So they're going to want to attack with the Infiltrator to draw. I think we just attack with Blight Priest. And then both of these make better use of mana. But I think this makes the most sense. Because then if they attack with Infiltrator, I might be able to Scion of the Swarm We also get to double block Infiltrator if they attack with it. Yeah. Okay. So here, I think we go Scion of the Swarm. They can eat one of our healers, but it also buffs the Scion of the Swarm, as well as does a little bit of draining. Unfortunately, now they're going to eat our Blight Priest, but... So we don't... Yeah, I was going to say, doesn't it trigger? That's good. So... Guess we get in with the Scion. They're taking it. Wow. Well, let's Mind Drain them and potentially sneak in some damage with that Sky Dancer. There's quite a few ways to get them this following turn because I'm going to have 2 flyers they need to deal with that are both lethal. Plus I can just Blood Beckoning back Blight Priest and additionally attack with my 2 Expedition Healers, which are both lethal. So they have to deal with basically 2 additional ways to kill them. They have the Wind Robber to block one of my flyers, but then they have to deal with 2 other ways to kill them. I mean, there's plenty of ways to do that in the deck, admittedly. Attacking with everything. Well, I'm cool with that. All right. That was a weird one. So they're playing Rogues, which are good, and they have the Infiltrator, which is good. Sentinel actually does look... Well, they just had the 1 flyer that game. All right. I mean, there's more flyers in Rogues, but their evasion isn't flyers from what it looks like. We actually don't have that much sideboard stuff. Like Lynx for beatdown deck, maybe. Although we have plenty of 2-drops. Silencer, maybe. Probably not. Yeah, I think I'm satisfied here. All right. Do we... I mean, we keep this. We're on the draw. Yeah. We have 9 black sources. Guess the question is, do I play... Yeah, we probably still just play the Stampede. I never know when to play my tapped land when they're also spells. It can be challenging. That was a great rip. Kind of a necessary rip there. So we'll do the Blight Priest here. Coveted Prize can find our Angel. It's not bad. Oh, that's cool. I don't have second black for it yet, but... So we can Coveted Prize now. Get our sweet Angel. Or we can get a second black. Yeah, I think we'll just find the Angel. We can play it next turn. They don't know it's coming. They have Duelist up there. It paused, so I'm pretty sure they have the Duelist, which is fine. We'll figure that out. That also means we're not going to block this Stinger if they attack. They didn't, though, huh? Well, 4 mana up. We'll go for it. We have the way to get it back, so I'm willing to take a look here. All right. We can get it back, so not a huge deal. Dreadworm. So let's see here. Next turn we can feed plus Bloodchief's Thirst. 4, 5, 6 mana, 3 black. So I suppose we just play the Scion then. So we'll Thirst the Dreadworm and I guess kill the Shadow Stinger. Maybe it makes more sense to kill the Stalker. I mean, the Stalker can unblockable kill us, so I guess that makes more sense. So let's Thirst there. Yeah, I think the fact that it can get unblockable is a bigger deal. They have Duelist, for sure. If they Duelist here to prevent damage to themselves, though, kind of feel okay about that. I don't really have a good answer for Vanquish, because I don't have any Resolute Strikes. We have Malachor Rebirth. I guess that's an okay one. Not sure why they're not attacking it. I mean, it really feels like they've got Duelist, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I want to just play out my hand to play around Mind Drain too. I'm not sure. I mean, the good news now is I can triple block. And yeah, so we'll do that. That's fine. They can play the Duelist. Doesn't really do that much. It only brings us to 7 cards in the yard, so it's still going to work out just fine for us. And at this point, I'm totally willing to trade that, so no big deal. We knew they had Duelist anyway, so it really doesn't matter. That was a good rep. What did we get rid of? I got rid of 2 very relevant cards, so that's cool. I could double block. I think we'll take it. If we can find a way to beat the Shadow Stinger, we could attack with the healers. So we can... Yeah, that actually works. So play the Silencer. I got one of those too. Blood Priest would have been a good rip. Tactics is pretty good too, though, so that's... I do see the problem, however. Alright, guess we gotta chill. Relic Vial is gonna convert their creatures into... I think we taken one for a little while here because we've got more pressing creatures to deal with. All right, Relic Vial is legitimately the rip we needed. So, how do we go about doing this? I wonder if we want to... I don't love tactics on the Wind Robber, but if I attack with Silencer here, I mean, they could honestly just take it. Is that good for me? Maybe. I think we might have to tactics the Robber and leave them to all ground dudes. Depends. Maybe they'll do a greedy attack. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not ideal. I guess the thing is, the card draw they get off of that... Oh, they have a Cleric now. Well, now we dig, because we're going to be out of time here. We might need the lifelink more, so I guess I'll sack the Silencer. Alright, Tended Healer is pretty excellent. Oh yeah, I forgot I have 2 of those. Unfortunately, I still don't think we have enough life to do this. It would be pretty sweet if we did. So, what do we want to do differently in game 3? I don't know. I feel like our deck is very, very well positioned to beat our opponent. We have insanely powerful things in here. We just have to figure out how we win. I mean, they've got like a weird mix of like clerics, and we're pretty solely focused on the clerics. I suppose we have some other stuff in here, but Dauntless Unity is a way to, Dauntless Unity is a way to counter. Only if you kick it sometimes, though. I guess that's not true. It can. I mean, it's a pretty odd way to counter. But I wonder if it's good enough. I don't know what I'm supposed to take out for it, though. I like the idea of counterspelling their vanquishes, because they have multiples. The only clear way I see to do it, though, is like Dauntless Unity. So maybe I do it and cut the tactics. It's probably a non-creature spell that I have to cut. Could be the coveted prize. Maybe it's a bit too slow. Or not necessary, rather. I mean, it did not work that well game 2. I found my angel, but then they just immediately killed it. I like finding combo pieces, though. It is quite good. It is slow, though. But finding Relic Vial is, it's pretty devastating for them. Maybe we'll just cut the tactics. I don't really like that, but I do like the idea of counterspell on Vanquish. Only because they have multiples of it. We'll give it a shot. So, 9 sources of black. But we're on the play. This hand gets black. I feel like we win. We have 18 lands. If we draw just white, we can play Angel. It's a tough one. I think we're going to risk it. Well, this is okay as long as our opponent doesn't rip or doesn't mill all of our black mana away. This should be just fine. All right, spare supplies I would have liked, but oh, it's too bad. Doesn't really matter. Neither card they take really is going to have that much impact for at least 2 more turns. Plus, it's just discard, so I guess we can get it back, too. Well, now we at least could rip another healer and punish them for this. They mill a second black, yeah. And then we draw white, yeah. Yeah. I think they have Vanquish, so we'll see. Or not. Alright, well, worked out okay. Alright, milling the white is okay. There's our black mana. Alright, let's, I guess, do... Guess the cleric first. Yeah, we can get it back at some point. I mean, granted, I could have Blood Chief's Thirst the Wind Robber, but I don't love that. Well, second black is real good. So let me just do this now. That's actually a tough choice, huh? Probably the engine makes more sense, as odd as that is. I think it just makes sense to so they did have Vanquish, okay. So 7 lands. Best use of mana. This would be 6, but it's actually kind of tough. We're like still one short of doing really, really cool stuff. But probably Scion. And I could get it out of Vanquish range if I attack with a healer. But I think we'll wait on that. Just going to hope they don't have another Vanquish. Attacking with the Wind Robber. So if they have Subtle Strike, it's still a trade? Okay. Alright. Sure. So Silencer just neg 2's something. So we probably just go Healer, Blood Priest, the token, buff that, get in for 4. At least it's out of Vanquish range now. That's cool. Well, we have Feed the Swarm. It only costs us 1 life to get rid of it, unless it got milled. I don't think it did. Alright. So we can kill the Infiltrator. Currently we just have Clerics, so we can't kill it that way. I think we have to Blood Chief's Thirst it. But I don't want them drawing cards, so I guess... Like, the Stalker gets us pretty good too, I guess, but... I wonder, did I have the mana to give... I think I'm going to kill that Cleric of Lifespawn with my Silencer. That's a good rip too, but let's do this first. Before they gain life. And because it's their only Cleric currently, so... I think it makes sense to get rid of that. And it makes the Stalker more expensive too to use. Another Wind Robber, okay. They're not attacking with the Stalker, though, which is kind of crazy to me. Let's do Adept first. Coveted prize. So we don't have the Warrior. That's the only thing we don't have. I can find Feed the Swarm and use it to get rid of Bubble Snare. And it only costs me 1 life. I think we do that. I can look if there's anything else, but I'm pretty sure that's what I want. Feed the Swarm. There's Mind Drain, which is good. Relic Vial. Maybe Relic Vial is what we want. I think it is. I feel like Feed the Swarm on the Bubble Snare is not bad, but I don't think it's ultimately good enough. Still don't know why they're not attacking with Stalker. Yeah, it's mostly irrelevant. I mean, obviously I would have liked to have that, but mostly irrelevant, I think. I got to feed the swarm anyway. Well, that works out nice. So let's do Relic Vial. Feed the swarm on the Bubble Snare. And pass. I wonder if I had to attack with a healer there to gain more life. I don't think so. Even if they play another land, they don't have enough to double pump the Stalker. And even if they could double pump the Stalker, it wouldn't be enough, so I think it's okay. So we'll block with a Blood Priest here. Oh, that's really good. You can even mind drain them too. So we have 7. I think that means we don't quite have enough to do Blight Priest plus Mind Drain plus Relic Vial. So I think we just do Blight Priest for now. Attack with team. Yeah, we could sack. Oh wow, and we got the Mind Drain too, huh? So attack with everything. Say they block my 2 biggest. They take 2, 4, 6. Yeah, they're dead. They only have 2 blockers. Plus, they're getting drained from Blight Priest. I'm pretty surprised we won this game. It looked real bad after that Wind Robber milled us of our first 2 swamps. I think we're pretty fortunate they got mana screwed. We were color screwed and they were mana screwed, and it turned out to be worse for them. All right, we'll see you round 2. All right, round 2. This is a keep. Interesting. Wow, they had to discard. So they actually did not rip a land. Of 2 extra draws there. Guess we just helped to draw them into one, but gonna have to just be okay with that. And then we got to see if we can draw our 4th land here with the spare supplies. Well, I want to draw a land, so there we go. So, coveted prize could find, like, feed the swarm to kill the fearless fledgling. No attacks. Well, can do the Angel of Destiny, or we can do the Scion of the Swarm. I guess we go Angel first. And pass. So with Drawn a Silencer, we can actually neg 3. But we need a 6th land. And that's only going to be relevant if they don't play a land this turn. Nahiri's Binding doesn't... Well, actually, Nahiri's Binding does matter. Because we have to... Yeah, well, it actually wouldn't matter that much. Because we can always find Feed the Swarm to take care of Nahiri's Binding. So even though we can't technically kill them... Yeah, this is interesting, though. This is very interesting. Because they very well might just let us gain a bunch of life here. So I could do Scion of the Swarm. Or I can go Cleric of Lifespawn plus Sky Dancer. They're both decent options. I'm going to go with the Scion. I mean, we can still definitely kill them with Angel of Destiny, which is cool. Uh-oh. Well, we might need to go ahead and find that Feed the Swarm for another target now. They're just going for that plan, huh? So... the Silencer will still neg for 2, even if Farsight Adept dies. So that's a little bit reassuring. They could take it too. I'm okay with that. All right. So we have some options. We can play the Sky Dancer and still do Coveted Prize, but then we won't be able to play the thing. So we might want a Coveted Prize and just feed the Swarm the Feldar Retreat. Or I can, yeah. I mean, Feldar Retreat's a big deal. I mean, my other play is Cleric of Lifespawn plus Sky Dancer, or... because I can also feed the Swarm the Feldar, and then they'll just be... maybe I give myself one more turn to sort of deliberate here. All of these 3 mana things make this a little more complicated too, but I think this is okay. And the problem with double strike is they gain that life right away. I got to feed the swarm anyway. I'm trying to remember what my other removal spell is here. Well, so we have 6 lands. So I can Coveted Prize plus Feed the Swarm plus Spare Supplies. Let me see. What am I finding off of? I can find the Relic Vial. Relic Vial is a pretty good one, actually. I've got a couple timeouts so I can think about this. Other removal I have, I can Blood Chief's Thirst. So I can Blood Chief's Thirst to Fearless Fledgling. And then Feed the Swarm the Prowling Felidar. That probably is the best move, honestly. It just... The reason it's good is it gets all of the bodies off their board. All the relevant bodies, I should say. We're also threatening lethal, which forces them to block. Well, looks like they're going to let us just have it. All right, I'm cool with that too. So they've got Feldar Retreat in there. Obviously good. Did we get a disenchant? No. They have landfall stuff. Seagate Colossus Outrider. Fissure Wizard. So some party-oriented stuff, some landfall stuff. Random Feldar Retreat, which is just good. We don't have much of a sideboard. I mean, thankfully we've got the Feed the Swarm to deal with Feldar Retreat, but no disenchants in addition. All right, it's a keep. That's a good one. So I think we can attack with healer and act like we have something. Man, we could have burned them so hard if we had a subtle strike there. So we could do Mind Drain, but we'll add to the board here. Add up draw is a little bit of a bummer because it like offsets their discard for Mind Drain, but I think right now a 3/3 is kind of important on the board, in my opinion. So we have Blood Chief's Thirst and Feed the Swarm to deal with the Fledgling, which is good. I guess Spare Supplies does a decent job of offsetting the Mind Drain too. Best use of mana here is probably a 3-drop, so I think we're just going to do the Sky Dancer. And next turn we can go Relic Vial. Maybe start sacking and draining. So they found their Felidar Retreat, which is obviously not good for us. So I think we just go Relic Vial, Healer, and Bash Team. Just try to get some life back, basically. And this is an acceptable trade. It helps that we drain them too, so. And we can get it back with Blood Beckoning if need be. All right. So, in a pretty tough spot now. Suppose we can Mind Drain. Guess we attack with... Well, they got rid of the... That's interesting. Guess we attack with the Sky Dancer. And they want to trade, which is also interesting. Considering they have the Felidar Retreat. So, I suppose we can get maximum value off Blood Beckoning now, which is nice. No land? I wonder if I want to double block that. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of a big deal. We kill it, and we're going to get stuff back with our... Yeah, I'm kind of okay with that. Ooh, a Tinded Healer. Well, that's a really good one for us, too. I think we want full value, so... Healer and... maybe Sky Dancer, because it flies. I think there's a decent argument there. Yeah, Shepherd's going to be a problem. Well, guess we do this now and we can kill the Tactician. Unfortunately, we buffed their Channeler. Not exactly what you want to do. Let's see. Sack this. Gain that. I'm trying to think if it's better to... Do I die if I sack the cat? Kind of looks like it. If they rip a land. I think we just pass. And hope to get, I don't know, instant speed thing maybe. So this actually is not the worst. So I have 9 mana, which is enough to do both, but not enough to actually kill anything here, unfortunately. And I can play the Silencer, but I mean, I guess our way to live is just pass. And then if they don't have a land, we can block the Channeler, sack the Cleric of Lifespond. Or I guess that sort of hinges on them not having a Shatterskull Minotaur. Or a land. Alright, so we'll go to game 3 here. I still don't think we have much of a sideboard. So, probably just running it back, I suppose. I don't love the way the Silencer looks in this match, admittedly. 6 mana is a little too expensive to ever effectively deal with much. I mean, there's a few things, just not much. It seems pretty slow. Mesa Lynx, though, doesn't really look all that great either. Maybe they have enough cheap stuff where I want to do that, but I'm on the play now, too. And it's not like I don't have a lack of early things to do. I could do the Highborn Vampire instead of the Silencer. Alright, you know what? I'm actually okay with that, because then at least there's full party capability, and a 4-3 actually can trade with things. I feel like the Drana Silencer is just overpriced, won't kill anything, and doesn't trade well. So it's got the trifecta of not good things going for it. So we'll play first. Yeah, it's a keep. I like having the Thirst because at least it's a way to deal with the Fearless Fledgling. Alright, we'll drop a Blood Priest. Might as well. It beats down. Alright, we did have the Fledgling, which is just fine by me. Get rid of that now. Next turn, Highborn Vampire, which is looking currently much better than a Silencer. We have the Blood Beckoning, so I'm willing to trade. Did they miss a... No, I was going to say. There's no way you'd play a Fissure Wizard and allow yourself to miss a land drop there. So we'll attack first. I don't know if it matters or not, but they'd probably still make that trade, but you never know. Alright, well, I'd much rather see that than a Felidar Retreat. And Blood Beckoning is looking real good for us here. Alright, they did have the Felidar Retreat. Well, this is actually interesting. We can Mind Drain them now. I'm kind of okay with that, actually. The reason I'm okay with it is getting rid of 2 cards in their hand when they have 3 probably is going to make for a reasonably difficult choice for them. I also gain a life, so my Scion is going to continue to beat down. And they're pretty hungry for lands at the moment. So what'd they get rid of? A Sellsword, a Raptor, and a Sellsword. And then they milled a Colossus. Alright. Well, it's not what we wanted their last card to be, but it's what it is. So now we do this. Get these two back. Suppose we wait. No, let's actually do the adept first. Alright, that's cool. So now we can go Highborn Vampire. So Blood Priest now at least drains for 3. And they didn't have to land there, which is nice. Unfortunately, I think them drawing is better. So, based on the fact that they failed our retreat. So it actually makes more sense for us to rebirth our Highborn Vampire, I think. That doesn't actually do anything. Well, we have Feed the Swarm to just immediately win. And we have Coveted Prize, which is another way to go about doing that. I'm trying to think, am I supposed to be sandbagging lands? I don't think so. Not that I can see. I can't see a clear reason why to do that. Fortunately for us, Shepherd is a remarkably good draw for them. Plus, we run the risk of Skydancer turning on Channeler again. That Spare Supplies is a fantastic draw for them, too. I would if I were them, I'd much prefer to do the Spare Supplies. I'm pretty surprised they did that, actually. Because now I can actually attack back. Alright, well, we didn't turn on the Channeler. I guess that's good. So now they can protect their guy. Well, Stampede's pretty sweet. Suppose we go for it. So they can discard their shelter, which would turn that into a 5/6, which means they could eat one of our guys. Keep their channeler. We're going to gain 4, so they'd kill our healer. We'd go to 13. I think they might just get us here. But I can't play Stampede and not attack and hope that works out for us. So basically, I mean, they have shelter regardless, so it's not like I have very many luxuries this game. That's one way to do it. I'm not sure I necessarily would have done it that way, but it's certainly one way to do it. They could have eaten our Vigilant guy with their Channeler. Yeah. I would have cast the shelter on my Channeler, blocked the healer. Then they could have just smashed back and killed us. Forced to block to not die. Relic Vial's pretty sweet, but I am afraid it is... Actually, I think it is good enough. Believe it or not. Wow. I think our opponent punted there. I think they could have beat us. They had the means to beat us there, and they dropped the ball. So we'll take it. Wow. That's pretty remarkable. We'll see you in round 3. All right. This hand is a keep. Looks pretty good. Healer into Blight Priest or healer into Disciple. Probably. Morass Sproutling. Well, suppose we just Disciple now. Could have sacked the healer. Maybe that would have been better. I actually don't know. I mean, the fact that I can get the Disciple back later maybe is a better selling point, but I don't have strong feelings about that either way, I suppose. So now we can go Blight Priest and get in for 3, I guess. Oh, well. Wonder if I think I'm actually willing to trade my healer for a Blight Blade here. This to me is better. This Bloodchief's Thirst can deal with anything. They've probably got some fatties in there. Yeah, in fact, they don't even want to do it, which is fine. Maybe they have Rabid Bite, and that's the reason they don't want to do it. I'm not sure. But I don't really want to cast Bloodchief's Thirst on a Blight Blade. I'll let them Rabid Bite my Blight Priest. I don't feel like I'm going to die to the 1/1, but I feel like Bloodchief's Thirst is serving me better dealing with their 5-drop or 6-drop here. They got kind of a crazy looking deck here. Simic with double splash. That's a good way to do it. Wonder what they choose. That makes sense, because then they can get back to field research. Ooh, a Tinded Healer. Well, that's a good one, too. I think for now we'll just do Healer and Sky Dancer. Alright, so found our Bloodchief's Thirst target. I guess that's good. Oh. It's an interesting attack. I'd take it. No reason to double block it when they can just get it back with a Sproutling and keep that infinite chain going. I'd much rather just take the 3 Bloodchief's Thirst to Stomper and then smash with my healers. I think they figured it out. So we'll go Sky Dancer. Unfortunately, this gives them more kicker fodder. And they did find some. Well, that's cool. So alright, let's just Thirst the Stomper. There's no way for me to kill both of their relevant creatures here, unfortunately. Like, I can Feed the Swarm the Stomper, but then I can't Bloodchief's Thirst the... So it makes the most sense to just kill their fatty. And then we'll get in with the Sky Dancer. So they did have the Rabid Bite. Interesting choice to kill the Blight Priest instead of the Sky Dancer. Maybe they have 2 Rabid Bites. Then it makes more sense. Relic Vial with no Clerics. Interesting. Well, here's our opportunity to cast the... This actually works really well for us. Especially since they can't sack the Sproutling. Kill that. Healer. And we'll attack. No blocks. Well, I guess if they have another Rabid Bite, that makes sense. So they could Sproutling back a Tazim Royal Mage to Royal Mage back a Rabid Bite to deal with our Sky Dancer. That works. I wonder if that's what their plan is. Or if they're just going to go for a big chain here. Field research. I might just smash with everything. I think we do. I think we do. Let's see. Block the healer, block the healer. 2, 4, 5. They go to 2. The healer still... If I don't... Let's say I just attack with the 2 healers and the cat. I gain life, so this gains... Spit out a thing. I mean, I don't kill them, so I'm... And this is a nice little chain, but only when... Let's see. Block there, block there. They take 5. We spit out a cat. This gets buffed. They go to 2. I think it's worth it. I think they're at just a low enough life total where it's worth it. Maybe we don't spit out the cat because I attack. I can't quite recall. Oh, it did. So it still worked. They're at 2. We have 5 attackers. It's worth it, I think. They have to kill our Sky Dancer and then still find... What, 3 more blockers? Yeah. Or, yeah. 2 more blockers. So they have to deal with Sky Dancer and play 2 blockers to live. That seems like... I suppose I could also play a Troll Ascetic and they'd still be able to sack. That might have... maybe Troll Ascetic would have gotten him out there. I'm not sure. So... They have Blight Blades in there, multiples. That's going to make our Silencer quite a bit better. Not that I love playing a 6-drop to kill a 1-drop, but it also deals with Royal Mage. They have enough X1s where I think keeping the Silencer in is fine. They don't look hyper aggressive. And our late game plan looks like it's pretty good. They have a card advantage late game plan, but I would say our Relic Vial looks better than theirs. So let's run her back. Alright, this is a keep. I mean, Relic Vial is one of the stronger cards in our deck, and we have a Spare Supplies. It's always nice to see Spare Supplies looking good. And I would say in this situation it looks pretty good. Yeah, that's a good rip. I think we'll do the Relic Vial first. That sets us up for a next turn healer plus sack Spare Supplies. Probably not in that order. Adept is good too, but I'm going to stick to the first plan here. So we'll sack this. Got a Rabid Bite. It'd actually be pretty good for them to Rabid Bite here. We only have one creature, and it's a cleric. If they let us untap, Rabid Bite gets a lot worse. That's a good rip. So, best use of lands is Farsight Adept, leave up Relic Vial. But I think that's fine. All right. Could have played the Clerical Lifespawn too, but I don't see the point of that. I think it makes more sense to leave up our Relic Vial sack in case they have something I'm worried about. I can convert, you know, spells they kick, like attacking with the Riptide. I can convert that attack into a card draw and a drain, which is good. I'd like to get that Blightblade off the board so this Demon's Disciple gets better. And if they Rabid Bite the healer, I think I'm okay with that too. We sack it, we still get to drain and draw. Plus, then we don't have to worry about the Rabid Bite on our Cleric of Lifespawn, which is nice. Sproutling getting back field research. So they're just setting up for the long game here, which is probably a good idea. I kind of want to take this, actually. The reason I want to take it is I can attack with Adept. Like, taking 5 is a big deal, but we're going to be able to gain life here, too. So... And they might actually trade with their Blightblade, which would be really nice for us. All right. I'm okay with this, too. All right, so they've got Rabid Bite. I don't think they do that unless they have Rabid Bite. So they've got the Sproutling combo if they want to do that. It's not the end of the world, though. I think we're still more than likely going to be able to... We actually want to, as odd as this is, main phase the Sky Dancer because then our Blood Priest gets better. And then we pass. And now we can at least convert you know, removal spells into card draw. Plus we have a McKindy Stampede, which actually looks pretty good here. Oh, Snarecaster, huh? That's tricky, actually. I think we use it. I think there's better cards we can draw. A land's not it, but I still think it was fine. Because we don't have to cast the Stampede right away either. That's a good draw. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we don't have enough to do both. We probably just do the Stampede this turn. Because I think they're most likely to Rabid Bite the Scion, I would say. And I think I want to keep the Angel of Destiny around. It's probably better. So they'll Rabid Bite the Scion. We can play the Angel. I think at this point, though, they've successfully outvalued us. Finding the Broken Wings basically in the nick of time there. I don't think we have a way to get it back, unfortunately. What are some other methods I have of winning this game? I'd like to look. Attended Healer. And that's about all I'm seeing. We basically have the Angel in hand, which is the only one that's immediately coming to mind as a way to do this. Unfortunately for us, they can get back their Royal Mage and get their Rabid Bite too. I guess I can kill the Snarecaster, and then they can't block our flyer anymore. So that's a way to do it too. So they just need to kick a Sproutling to bring back a Royal Mage, or just have another Rabid Bite on hand. It's another way to do it. We still have Blood Chief's Thirst and Feed the Swarm, so we can take out the Snarecaster. So it's a tough situation because now it's looking like their late game is better than ours. So I'm wondering if I need to do a beatdown plan. Unfortunately, I don't know if we can mold. I'm not sure we're going to be able to mold the deck into an aggro plan that's good enough here. I don't think that we're going to be able to be aggressive enough to successfully beat them down. I could dial it back to a 17 land deck. I don't know. I'm really not liking that plan. I really don't like that plan. But looking at our main deck, I'm not sure. Maybe I just dump a couple pieces of removal for more creatures. I don't know if that's better either, though. The healers admittedly don't look very good, but not much to be done about that. Just really trying to wrap my head around what I can do in game 3 to give myself an edge in this match, and nothing's really forthcoming. I mean, these 2/2 lifelinkers are pretty bad, but it's obviously going to slow the deck down if I... And I almost like need to keep the practice tactics so I can kill the Blightblade, but tactics is not really looking very good in this match either. It might have to be good enough. Like, I don't think the Blightblades look very good, but they have the rabid bites. We're basically just getting got by a Snarecaster, which is kind of depressing. I mean, I'm also just like a blood beckoning away from getting at least like a blood priest and a scion back. But they saw 6 additional cards over us. So they basically saw an entirely different hand. Wow, with the Relic Vial? That's funny. Might as well play it out, I guess, if they've used a lot of time on their timer. So I'm thinking about dialing it back to 17 lands and trying to convert this deck into some sort of aggro deck. I really just don't realistically see that happening, though, at all. I have no idea how I would go about making this more aggressive. Or if that's actually gonna get me there. Like, if I revamp the deck, am I actually going to have a better chance of beating my opponent? Probably not. Probably not. I don't see that being realistic. So, what do I do instead? I don't know. We'll have to look at the sideboard. I'm just trying to, at this point, drain my opponent's clock. Maybe that's another reason to not go for the aggro plan. Because if I don't go for the aggro plan, then the game goes longer, and maybe I can make them take 10 minutes to win. Seems reasonable to me. So, is there anything I want to change at all? I mean, Silencer is actually not bad in this match. It kills a Blightblade, and it can block a Sproutling. And that's it. Basically, a Highborn Vampire is another thing we could bring in. But I don't think so. Could do the Sentinel, more flyers. Actually, that's not bad. They clearly have issues with flyers. They have a Broken Wings and a Snarecaster. Lull Mage's Domination's pretty good against that, though. And it's slow. But it's a difficult choice. Thinking about sticking with the 18 lands, too. Could bring in the Sentinel. It's the only choice here. And then cut a healer. Because it basically just gets choked down so easily. Bring in a Sentinel, take out a healer. And this isn't even a play until turn 7 or something. I gotta say, I don't really like it. I don't really like it. I'm going to leave it the way it is. As bad as 2/2 Vigilance Lifelinkers are in this matchup, they still do something with our deck, like Attended Healer, Scion of the Swarm. They buy time. They can block, chump and buy us time. Alright, it's a keep. Alright, opponent mulls. Alright, opponent keeps at 6. Although they did deliberate for a while on that. Blood Priest is good. It's fine. Like, obviously it has synergy with healer, but we can always give it lifelink too to spit out 1/1, so kind of okay with that. Feed the Swarm is cool. So we have our 2 removal spells, which is probably good for us. Snarecaster. Alright, let's actually gonna play the healer. Because they can't Rabid Bite and kill our healer here, so I'd rather do that than a removal spell. And then I can leave up Malika Rebirth too, which is good. Just in case. Alright, so we have the answer for that, which is good. Did they show us any enchantments? Problem is I played the white mana, so now I can't protect my Attended Healer. I guess we'll just give up 4 life. So I can leave up the Rebirth. Cunning Geyser Mage. Well, that's okay. Alright, so we'll rebirth. Alright. So we're in pretty serious trouble now, actually. We have a removal spell, but we're out of gas, and we don't have any combo pieces. We need like a Cleric of Lifespond, we need Relic Vial, Scion of the Swarm would at least evade, Namana Sky Dancer, Spare Supplies would give us card advantage. I mean, there's a lot of things that help us here, but currently we're not really looking great. So I can't do anything about that. I could have given the Blood Priest lifelink, actually. I probably should have done that. That I should have done. Especially since they're gonna... Oh, they're not gonna trade? Well, they are gonna trade. So it turned out to be a pretty big mistake, actually. Could have been 2 extra life there. Alright. This is sadly gonna be over, I think. I think even with the 6-minute timer there, they're just going to find a card advantage or a finisher, and we don't have either. We don't have card advantage, we don't have our combo, we don't have half of a combo piece. We essentially have just a whole lot of nothing. So we needed to not rip lands. I did play 18 lands, but it's because we have all of these card advantage combo pieces that are supposed to bring us back into the game. Yeah. All right. Well, I wish I could say we got there, but I think this one's over. It's going to be a pretty miserable death for us, I think. Just like 3 turns too late. Just 3 turns too late. If it had been there 3 turns ago. So if we get Blood Beckoning, we can get back in this game. It almost feels like Blood Beckoning or bust at this point, though. I mean, Scion of the Swarm would be an amazing draw. We have top decks. It's just it's not looking good. We needed to be able to prolong the game and find the combo pieces, and just missing those crucial turns. And the double Rabid Bite, like being able to protect healer once but not twice is so devastating too. I'm taking that in case we draw Relic Vial, because then at least I have a way to block Drain Draw. But the sheer quantity of card advantage they have at this point, it's just... I can't imagine a world where we possibly win this. It just seems ludicrous that we could possibly win this. I don't know if it depresses me more that their clock is almost done now. Now it's even more insulting that they're easily going to beat us and have plenty of time. Probably with like a minute left on their clock, actually. So Souncer does actually nothing here. Like, I kill Royal Mage, they just get to bring it back. Maybe I'd rather them do that than play a Field Research. I got nothing for you. Might as well buy time. So we had Spare Supplies, we had Blood Beckoning. Those were maybe our only card advantage spells, is that right? So our opponent clearly had more card advantage spells than us, but I felt like we had enough bombs, enough ways to postpone where we could have gotten there, but yeah. These decks are actually kind of mana hungry too. I think that's another thing about it. Of why I play 18 lands. Because I've done 17 lands, and the mana screw is real in these cleric decks too. It's actually just an extremely difficult balance. It's a really difficult balance. You have to be able to not get flooded like we just got flooded, but you also have to be able to have enough gas in the tank to be able to make plays, keep up Relic Vial, make plays, be able to give lifelink. We had 2 spell lands, so that even kind of offsets it. Granted, we had to play one that game, but in fact, we played both that game, and we still... I don't know. Maybe we saw like 13 out of our 18 lands there. I'm not actually sure. Either way, that is it. We went 2-1. About as close as you can possibly get to going 3-0, but no cigar. All right. We'll see you for the next one.